Well, we've had Orange County, we've had Beverly Hills, we've had Melbourne, and now the Real Housewives of Auckland. Yes, I'm afraid it is true. We're going to have a look at the clip where Paul Henry asked some of our Real Housewives, or Unreal Housewives of Auckland, about dramas that occurred on the show.
Well, I don't know if we're allowed to do that.
Well, yes, you can. You can do anything because I'm like in charge. Seriously, what one of the dramas? What's the biggest thing that sort of happened? Have you like signed a contract or something?
Well, we have, yes, of course.
No, there's been so many dramas, Paul. It'd be hard to pinpoint just one, and I'm not going to.
I think out of touch is actually the understatement of the century with, oh, don't shake your head like that.
I clipped that video to bring it in, and honestly, the empty space in the video, the gaps in the conversation, I just thought represented the empty space and the gaps in this whole idea. I just can't fathom why anyone would want to do it. I can't fathom, I've long been a believer that we don't really have celebrity culture in New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
There are a few people. Lord, celebrity.
Oh, not here though.
But still, Peter Jackson, celebrity.
Totally.
There are some people with the greatest of respect, reality. When Sally Ridge refuses to do something, the level has dropped off pretty amazingly.
I did notice something and I thought, this is very interesting. So I was tuning into Bravo, where they'll be broadcasting this in August. I noticed that unlike some of the other Real Housewives, their faces, the Auckland housewives, don't look terribly, terribly unhuman yet. Do we just have better plastic surgeons in New Zealand, do you think? Or maybe they can't afford it?
I don't think as a male I'm allowed to comment on that.
It's probably best you don't.
I don't, because I'm looking at the pictures and seeing not a single grey hair there, and still seeing, it's the worst of television. Like, it is the worst of television. There is nothing, and I mean, okay, let me say that program Sex Box, which is apparently coming, that's one step worse, but this is the worst of television. This kind of television, people love it, people watch it, and the only reason they produce it is because it costs nothing to produce compared to a scripted show. It puts actors out of work, it puts resources into things. Yeah. It's just terrible. I'm sorry if you're a fan of this.
Tell us what you really think.
It's just, and what is it? What purpose does it serve? Other than to provide a vacuous conversation to other vacuous people who are watching it in their vacuous little lives. It's ridiculous.
Well, look, I think one thing it will rub in is that glamour, wealth and diamantes were definitely in short supply when I was a Real Housewife this morning in Maitland Street in Dunedin. But that's why we watch, don't we? Because we want to say, look at these people, their lives are so out of touch with the reality.
I have to be honest, I don't want to be a curmudgeon here and be someone like, why the kids these days and stuff. I've never seen an episode of Real Housewives. Okay. I would prefer to watch good television. Yeah. I would watch, you give me, House of Cards or Kim Kardashian and the Chloe shows. I know what I'm watching. And maybe if I had all the time in the world and I wanted to feel better about myself by watching 5 ridiculous people on a television show and their sad little lives, maybe I would. I don't need to do that, so I don't.